the other characters. Like I don't know how Destro's going to fit into it, but
well, he's just your your typical
supplier.
arms dealer. Like he might be from John Travolta's character from Swordfish or Nicolas Cage in God of War. Like he's just an arms dealer. That's he stirs trouble up just so like I'll sell you weapons, and then after he sells weapons to those guys, the other side comes over. It's like I can't believe you sold them weapons. Well, I can sell you better weapons, and then it keeps going back and forth. I can sell you better. I can sell you better until it gets to the point where it's like, okay, that's enough. But we have all the powerful weapons. No, you have the most powerful weapons. I sold you. I still got weapons that are more powerful than yours. So it's like his army there, the Iron Grenadiers. They're like the top notch. Like he's got his special weapons for his team, and then he sells like the rejects to everybody else. So that's where he's getting the whole thing with Cobra Commander.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's like kind of like Cobra Commander's trying to start an army. He needs weapons. Destro's his man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's so close.
Yeah.
And then you got Zartan and the Dreadnoughts, which you said you think that they should.
I don't think they're gonna be in it like per characters. Ripper, Torch, Buzzer, Monkey Wrench, Thrash, and all them. But I think what it's gonna be like, Zartan's just a mercenary.
Yeah.
That'll get hired on to like do some dirty work for Cobra Commander. So, he can just use like, he could be like off the phone or something with Cobra Commander saying, Zartan, I got a job for you. And then he just kind of hangs up the phone. He's like, Dreadnoughts, let's go. Or say, hey, guys, come on. And then you have a bunch of biker dudes behind him that follow him out.
I could kind of see that, but where they're not putting them into the movie. I could almost see him at like a bar.
Recruiting?
No, just sitting there on the phone like he's getting a phone call.
Yeah.
And you see the guys in the background.
Yeah.
And you know that that's who they are, but they never mention it.
Exactly.
And then he's like, and then he heads out, and then they're like, "What he's going?" And then it's almost like then you know who they are, but they just don't say it.
Right. And same thing with other major Cobra characters, like Major Blood, like I mentioned. He could be just some guy in the background, with the helmet and the eye patch, ordering the guys around. Like we know who he is, but they don't say who he is.
Yeah, I could almost see him doing that, or he's mentioned almost. Remember, like in X-Men 1 where Beast was kind of on the TV.
Yeah.
It was Hank.
Yeah.
He'd be almost like mentioned in the background, like, oh, Major Blood's on another mission.
Or in like the first one too, where Kitty walked through the door, but she didn't really have a part until the third movie.
Yeah.
But we knew who she was.
Yeah.
Like we knew who all the kids were. Like, because of their mutant powers, but it's like, and it's kind of the same thing with G.I. Joe. You can have all these guys that are just, because of what they're wearing on wardrobe, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so.
But then again, they might not even mention any of them.
No,
they might not even put them in at all.
Yeah.
There's rumors going around that The Rock and Brendan Fraser are going to be in the movie.
I checked that out, as far as I know, from Hasbro, who is the ones banking the payroll.
Yeah.
No Rock, no Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
The cast is pretty much...
Rumored.
It's rumored, but it's
solid.
it's been solidified that, that they've already started filming. They've got locations set up in the States, in Hollywood, over in Prague, where they're going to be filming some European stuff. And then somewhere else in the States, because where the G.I. Joe base was supposed to be, the pit they called it, was supposed to be underneath like a military base in New York.
Yeah.
Which they're going to have that kind of like staged.
Well, that's the thing. Like I can, because once you start filming, I mean you can make extra additions to the script, but that kind of like that rumor, I was just like, once you start filming, you don't really go that far into it and say like, oh, we're gonna, by the way, we're gonna throw this in the
we're gonna throw like it's like, oh, how are we doing? Well, we're 10 minutes away from the ending. Okay, well, we're gonna get Brendan Fraser as a character and The Rock as a character.
Yeah.
Now put them in the movie. Okay, well, we're glad we green screened everything, so we can just kind of like put them in and put them in,
like Shipwreck and Shipwreck and Gun Ho, and I kind of figured that not to be true, but and then there's the other characters. There's
Ripcord. Oh yes, Marlon Wayans from the fabulous Wayans Brothers. Yeah. Or Little Man. Oh, crazy. Like, the scary movies.
Everyone has your beef about that because number one, Ripcord's white.
Yeah.
And he's a black man playing a white character, which whatever.
Yeah. That's just Hollywood changing things.
Kingpin, like you said, Kingpin was black and Daredevil. Who cares?
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say that would be good about having him in there is you do need comic relief.
That's true. You need a comedic sidekick kind of thing.
Yeah. So you always need that comedic relief. So that could be good, as long as they do not overdo it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it. with Hollywood, they overdo everything, and it's always got to be overdone, and it's always got to be like too funny, and it's horrible.
Or they think it's funny, and they keep doing it over and over again. But like, okay, we got you the joke the first time. Why you keep telling it?
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
And then you had the other two. I keep thinking Stalker, but it's not Stalker. Heavy Duty.
Heavy Duty, yes. Again, there's another. That's my major beef because the guy that runs Hasbro, the CEO of it, he's the guy that says, okay, this G.I. Joe movie is a movie for the fans, and what they're doing is they're not going to use the cartoon because it was really for entertaining children. But this is kind of like to entertain everybody. So they said we're going to use the comic books, which were a little more teen-oriented and young adults, and it was like it was edgier, it was more dark, the comic books, and so he said they were going to use the characters from that. But the thing is, I read all the comic books. Heavy Duty is not in the comic books. They could have made this black guy like, say, Roadblock or Stalker. Because, Stalker was the original teen,
Especially, Stalker and Roadblock. Roadblock, just because he was in the comics and the cartoon movie.
Yeah.
And he was a good character to have, and I thought those were too. I just kind of threw him out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a cold. And then you had the dude from wherever the hell he's from.
Oh, the Middle Eastern actor that was in the movie with Dennis Quaid, Vantage Point, where he was a terrorist. And he's playing Breaker, the communications officer, and that was their whole idea because of what's going on right now in the Middle East and how a lot of other countries aren't too fond of the U.S. and the U.S. kind of brought that upon themselves, that whole "we're number one" kind of thing. So whatever criticism they get, it's well deserved. But how
people watching this just clicked off. This guy stocks.
That's true. But anyways, yeah, like how they're doing it again, like making a Mission Impossible an international mission team. So you got operatives from all over the world. Like Heavy Duty is apparently supposed to be a black French guy, and then the other guy's from like the Middle East. I know, it's kind of crazy. Well, did you see that guy's name? I can't even pronounce it. Yeah. One guy in ING, I don't know how many times he had to do takes on that, but they got his name. He said it, I think, but he's playing Heavy Duty.
Then you got the chicks.
Oh, yes. Which, pretty much, because the movie is set for guys such as ourselves, because G.I. Joe came out in 82, so you're looking at, the 25 to 34, the people with the jobs that are working, that have the money, that are going to, go to the theaters.
Yeah. Watch it.
Yeah, so they got they got Rachel Nichols. She was in P3. Sienna Miller, she was in a couple of different movies. And then you got that Victoria's Secret model girl. I can't remember her name. She's European. You can look it up there on the different sites there if you want to get her name.
She's playing Cover Girl.
She's playing Cover Girl, which was
I don't think she's gonna have much of a role.
No, I think she's just gonna be strutting her stuff. That's it. She's going to be like, kind of like, in G.I. Joe the movie where Falcon goes in and steals the tools and then gives Jinx a slap.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, it's pretty good legs for a grease monkey. And that's what Cover Girl is. She's like, she's a motor pool worker. She works on tanks and jeeps and stuff. Yeah. But she just happens to be, hot.
Yeah, she'll be like the one that kind of like serves Hawk his coffee, and then that's it. Then they'll never see her again.
No, she'll be the one that does the oil change on Hawk's Jeep or something like that.
Just real quick, if they even, the movie could depict her as like a freaking secretary or something.
Exactly. Who knows? Yeah.
Then you had Scarlet, which we talked about earlier, saying different. I think she looks hot in it, so I'm just like, whatever.
Exactly.
Then you have Baroness, and she's Baroness.
Yeah, she's the Baroness. She's like, the one that's, God's Destro's love interest, but then at the same time, she's kind of like trying to get Cobra Commander. Like, she always fuels the fire between Cobra Commander and Destro.
Yeah.
If they're both there, she doesn't say anything, but if it's only one of them, she's like, well, Destro did this, or Cobra Commander did this,
Sexual tension.
Yeah.
Between them, like that.
Yeah.